Hello, Libra. Welcome into Steampunk Psyche. We're going to do a general reading, past, present, future, and then a alchemist reward card to find out what we can work ourselves into or challenge ourselves out of or into. Um, the dates will be from September the 21st through September the 28th. Today we're going to be doing the Justice board, which is appropriate because Libra is the Justice card in Tarot. So let's go to the board and see what the past is going to reflect here. Fun facts about Libra. September the 23rd through October the 22nd, they are an air sign. They are also a cardinal sign, meaning they're the initiating energy. So we start off with the Eight of Cups. Somebody's walking away. And the Three of Wands in the reverse position. Okay. Kind of in a stagnant position. Let's see what else shows up. The World card. Okay. Manifesting in this cycle that you're in here. And followed by the Seven of Swords in the reversed position. Okay. So the Eight of Cups in the upright talks about, as you can see, the person is walking away, but they know that there is ahead of them some challenges. And I feel like this energy is a challenging energy, which is appropriate because um, justice is always served on challenges, no matter what we face. Also, some interesting thing is that you see the moon, the crescent moon off in the end here. We are entering into that waxing moon, so there should be a lot of self-reflection taking place, maybe some shadow aspects coming up. I kind of feel like this may be the dominant action energy right now. In the passive position, we got the Three of Wands in the reverse. Let's take a look at that. Delays, frustration, missed opportunities, some limitations or some obstacles. Okay. With the World card showing up, I mean, the World card is cycles, endless cycles, over and over, repetitive. It's kind of what I'm getting. That maybe what's manifesting is you're starting to see some of these cycles that are continuing. A lot of times, sometimes it takes an act of God in order for us to look up, to kind of slow down in our lives and take a look at things. So maybe there was this moment that kind of shook you and woke you up. We see the Seven of Swords in the reverse position too. Um, look at that as well. See what that's talking about here. A confession, accountability, some truth, some honesty, awareness, maybe coming aware. I wouldn't doubt it with that 365 cycle. That's, like I said, you came to the conclusion about something from your past here, um, and walked away. Your energy was walking away type energy, moving away from something. Okay, so in the present, we've got the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse position. We kind of want to see that in the upright, for obvious reasons, that garden in the gate kind of energy, like this super offering that's coming in, but you appear to be held down, pinned down, and we're seeing that by the Ace of Swords as well. So there's a lack of communication, a stagnancy. We're seeing it with the Nine of Wands energy, followed by the very last card in the fourth turn there is the Four of Swords. So the Ace of Pentacles in the reversed position. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that real quick. Yeah, financial loss, scarcity, poor planning, unrealized potential, hesitation, and blockages. And I'm feeling like it's communication here. There's something missed about a missed opportunity, perhaps. Maybe If this had something to do with a job opportunity or something maybe you might have missed. Because the Ace of Swords also talks about that same lack of communication. So um, let's look at that one also. Confusion, miscommunication, lack of clarity, misinterpretation, clouded judgment, and delays. This is in your present, Libra. What are we frustrated about? What's got you mentally blocked here? What's the story? We also have the Nine of Wands in the reverse, where the Nine of Wands upright is that warrior energy, that you've won some battles, but you're guarded with something. Um, let's see what that has to say as well. Exhaustion's got you beat up, given up, doubt, stagnation, burnout, and fatigue. Followed by the Four of Swords, okay? And Four of Swords is what it says. If these three swords over here were these three battles, for instance, this state of frustration, this walking away scenario, and let's say the world cycles. You've got another something that is just super heavy on your mind, and that's obvious from a very first turn. And you're just overloaded with something. So, what is this energy trying to reveal to us here? What are you trying to manifest? In this third position, we're talking about your future here. So, in this future, if I'm dreaming about it and I'm seeing it, what am I trying to say? So, we have intuition, high priestesses, the deep secrets. We saw that in, the intuitiveness, this shadow self aspect. The high priestess holds the crown of the shadow self. She's surrounded by mystery and intuition. She is the guardian of all of the spiritual self, the guidance and the nurturing aspect. With the crescent moons, you see, she wears the triple crown as well. So it's all about intuition and introspection. And I believe that this is where you're at right now. This is your daydreaming state about this position. And it appears to be a Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is this, kind of this knight, that, and not a knight, but a young um, energy of exploration. You're looking out, and you've got the budding staff in your hand, and you're just got in that I wonder if looking out kind of attitude. You know, the Six of Pentacles talks about a balance. We are doing the tarot on the balance card. Justice is supreme balance, and it's kind of like you're seeking a balance, seeking a justice of something um, that has got you, you know, in all three of these positions right here. There's stagnancy going on. There's complacency. There's kind of a very guarded type energy, and it's followed by the Two of Pentacles, which also shows that um, where you would want that a lot of stability to stabilize that energy. Um, still seems to be something in your mixed. Let me look at this. Let's see. Let's see what the Two of Pentacles reverse talks about. Still imbalance. Some chaos, stress, and inflexibility. Poor prioritization. Well, my mouth doesn't want to work. I feel like there's a communication issue going on here. Normally, if this is relationship wise, that's the case. Okay, so in the fourth turn over here, we're going to put these in the cauldron. And what I mean by that is we're going to find out, we got four things that we're going to work on here and challenge to see if we can get some more information. If we need to clarify, we will. And to tell you the truth, I'm not liking the way these cards are, so I'm definitely going to try to clarify this. So we've got a Tower in reverse, so you're putting off something. And I'm not surprised, because you have these three scenarios here going on that's they're painful situations. So what you do is you put your head down into your work, you move away, isolate yourself. This is kind of an isolating scenario here. But it also shows that you're focused on something, and it looks like if these pentacles represented, say, relationships, or represented work, or just being a good mom or a dad, or a partner, and a good employee, or you've got these rewards over here, that you've posted up, but you're still working on something, but you've moved yourself away. Okay, it's kind of this gray sky, gray area. It was followed by the Tower in reverse, and the Tower in reverse talks about, we, as much as a lot of people don't like the Tower card, I love the Tower card because it teaches us how to understand the foundational work that we may have stood upon. We did see the World card, which talks about cycles, cycles in our life. Sometimes there, it's not always, but there are times where a lot of us, we get into financial scrapes, we get into relationship scrapes, we get into, just lots of cycles in life, things that take place, and sometimes it's very hard to get out of them. And usually it's that, calm before the storm. And when you're in that storm, baby, that sucker is tough. It's one of them that you have a hard time looking at and focusing on. So let's look at, let's look at the Tower in reverse real quick. And so it's kind of this avoidant, fear of change. I would hope that that would be the case more than some upheaval, um, but could be possible clinging to the old ways. But the major takeaway from this is escaping disruption. That's really what the Tower card in the reverse position is talking about, is escaping something. So you've just kind of put your head away. This is an escapism type reflection right here with the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. But it's followed by the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords in the upright is particular about this, a youthful energy. This could be a young couple. This could be a young person. And if this, resonates with you, then hang in there, because I feel like I need to go further with this too, because it's just not quite giving me enough. I mean, we've all been in, tough positions. I'm not trying to one up or anything like that, but when you're in it, you're in it, and you're in it. And excuse me, it's hard sometimes to even, you know, talk about that. So, like I said, I feel like there's been a lot of throat chakra type energy taking place, and that Page of Swords is an air sign, which is a communication type sign. So there could be some lack of communication that maybe you're needing to hear. We did see the Four of Swords, and we did see the Seven of Swords over here, and the Ace of Swords in the passive position. So we could be talking about a feminine here, perhaps. It doesn't have to be, but we could be. We're just, talking about energies mainly. So, but then in the final turn here, the grounded effect that's taking place. This is the grounded card, the fourth card, the stabilizing card, or foundational. What's happened though? Is there's this Three of Pentacles in the reverse position. Now the Three of Pentacles in the upright talks about kind of a giving and taking of information with people, sharing ideas and sharing aspects about it. But we're seeing that Three of Pentacles in the reverse. Um, so let's take a look at that real quick and see what that has to say. So there's a disharmony, right? A poor collaboration, a lack of recognition, inefficiency, disconnection, and a frustration and an imbalance. So if this is relationship wise, then maybe you're tired of giving it all, and somebody else not reciprocating. So this is kind of that sense I'm getting. It's non-reciprocating, and this is causing these stagnant, stagnant type of cycles in your life, stagnant in your love life, stagnant in your work, because it's heavy on your mind, right? So I'm going to keep going. I want to reveal what we can do. We're still in this fourth scenario here, the cauldron. We're going to put these in the fire, so to speak, and see what we can do. See what we want. We want a happy ending. Everybody wants a happy ending. Sometimes, we want so much of a happy ending that that's all we focus on. And the problem is that we're focusing all of our attention on the things that are continually happening. So this kind of looks a little bit better here. You know, we see the Queen of Pentacles as financial matters. She's earth sign. She's very gathered. She is together. And that's a dominant energy. And it's sitting on top of the walking away. So if the question is, do I walk away from this situation I'm in? The energy is, this is what I want. This is what I feel like I can have or I need, you know. Um, Now, this could be relationship wise too, but it could also be stability. You know, some kind of a stability could pertain to relationship, but also, you know, finances, health related too. So, you know, then we got the Five of Wands in the reverse position. So the Five of Wands upright is kind of like who's in charge. You know, there's just commotion. Nobody's really taking any kind of a stance towards being the leader of this. So it could be ideas coming to and fro, and just nobody really embracing anything. So, but we'll look at it in the reversed and see what it says. So there's a resolution, a cooperation, a harmony, um, and a compromise. So I feel like I would like to say this is what you're trying to manifest, that this is the position that you would like to be in. I mean, who wouldn't like to be in that? But it's also followed by the Ten of Swords in the reverse position. So upright, it's just sudden death. You've just absolutely put an end to it. And then the Ten of Swords, yeah, recovery, renewal, resilience, a closure, a healing. So that's what you've manifested. And I would like to say, whoever this is for, that, you know, this is what's taking place for you right now. You know, you put an end to something and now there's rest and recovery. I want to keep going. Rest and recovery. And now what? What's coming now? Libra, what are we going to be grounding ourselves in here? The Queen of Wands. Okay. So the Queen of Wands is sort of like the High Priestess in the same manner, except she is this mystery and intrigue and your interests, sort of like your hidden desires. You know, it's asking you to really, with this rest and recovery, to focus on your hidden desires so that you can match this same Queen of Pentacles energy. You see, what I like about this is that the Queen of Pentacles sits in the dominant action position. It's telling you to act upon this nature, this grounded nature. Get outside, put your feet in the ground. You know, get to your solace, find your zen, find your place that's happy, um, and um, and to surround yourself in it. And the Queen of Wands is at the very end, saying the very same thing, going, you know, hey, in order to conquer or to get the best out of this Five of Wands reverse, this Ten of Wands, rest, recovery, and discovery of these new desires, these new passions, then we want Queen of Wands in the upright position, because she's mystery and she reveals. She's the revealer of the cards. Um, However, we're seeing we're seeing her in the reverse position. Okay, so there's this emotional instability and suppressing aspects. Usually, it's suppression of some type. Um, putting something, putting something. What is it that we're putting down or putting away? I gotta keep going. This just isn't giving me enough. Willpower. You're asking for willpower. Chariot is the willpower card. Also, also the card of, say, transformation and enlightenment. You know, spiritual enlightenment. He is holding the garter, or wears the garter of spirituality. You know, surrounded by the crescent moons on his armor and the stars around his head. He's in a majestic cart with stars, pulled by two of these lions. There are no reins, so the chariot wills everything into place without force. So this is a dominant energy sitting over the top of your Ace of Pentacles. So it's it's using more of this Queen of Pentacles in this chariot type of attitude, um, to move yourself forward. Um, it's followed by the Queen of Swords, also in the reverse position. So let's take a look at the Queen of Swords in the reversed position. Coldness, bitterness, manipulation, cynical misjudgment, rigidity and resentment, isolation. Yeah, kind of the same thing throughout. It's just kind of repeating itself. I feel like you're in this cycle, this world, card kind of exposed. This is what's manifest in the past, and it's just kind of followed you. And now you're in a position where you're just at this point of, you know, gathering all the willpower and strength that you need. You're in both of these major arcana cards are surrounding that type of energy, you know, this stagnant, and I hate to say it like this, but this woe is me. Whereas you want a relationship, um, with your finances. You want a relationship, um, with perhaps a person or people or whatever, and you just kind of keep in this same 365 rotating wheel of cycle. And I think what I'd like to do, I don't want to make anybody mad here. And if you followed along this far, I appreciate it. That's very brave of you, because not a lot of people can sit and listen to things about their life that's like, yeah, dude, I know, man. So tell me what I can do. And if I had an answer, it would say that right now, what I'm feeling, the energy is that the best thing is that maybe I feel like let's look, you're recognizing that there's a cycle, okay? Um, in the present, you're recognizing that there is these continuing over and over cycles. And if you're not recognizing it, now you are. You should be, because you can't unsee what you just saw. So what do you do? Okay. Well, I used to hate it when people would say this, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, right? So what if you just took one little small step? I used to hear this phrase about there's only one way to eat an elephant, and that seems kind of extreme, but that's a huge meal, and if you took that same approach to these issues and said, today I'm not going to, just absolutely not going to face that today. I'm just not. Instead of sitting around and like, or for instance, I get up, I go to work. I'm not going to approach work with the same mentality. I'm not going to, the bosses that don't like me or the employees that I can't stand, I'm not even going to look at that today. Today, instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find one damn thing that makes me happy, and I'm just going to think about that during work. And that'd be one thing. And I know this sounds simple and menial, but the next thing is on my way home, I'm not going to let uh, traffic, anybody in traffic, piss me off today. I'm just not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to listen to 3 or 4 of my favorite songs on the way home. And that 3 or 4 songs is something different that you didn't do. Um, I don't even know if, yeah, use your phone or whatever, program. However you do that, earbuds, put it in and listen to 3 or 4 of your favorite songs. When you get home, uh, if you got kids to take care of, or family members, or if you're by yourself, whatever. When I get home, I'm not going to go straight in and start cleaning up the house and doing all this. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run myself a nice bath. And I'm going to, if you got some wine, pour yourself some wine, drink some tea, drink water, whatever it is you do. I wouldn't suggest uh, trying to escape with anything, with drugs or alcohol. That's not what I'm saying. But if you do, that's your thing. It's no big deal. I'm not judging you, but just saying part of the escapism. We want to try to avoid the escapism from our issues, but but not but not with elements. Okay, we want to try to. What we're trying to do is to sit in this pain or this thing without pushing it away necessarily. It's still there, but we're just trying to alleviate enough to get maybe our foot just on a solid spot. And I can keep going with this list over and over again. And all I can tell you is that it's like a staircase you're climbing. It's like a winding staircase, for instance. Um, I listen to Magnetize Yourself on YouTube, Infinity. She's wonderful. I've been listening to her for a few years, and she has this example of this staircase that you're graduating slowly with these very small steps. And when you're in it, you don't really see it, right? You don't really realize just how far you've moved until you come to this next cycle. And then you're able to look back and realize just how far you came. So, what I could say is that it's really just a process of, number one, accepting that it took you a while to get into this place. It's going to take you a while to get back out of it. And it's okay. It's perfectly okay. It's okay to be angry about it. It's okay to be, um, upset, disgruntled. But what you want to try to do is funnel that anger, funnel that energy into something just slightly different than what you did the day before. And that's all it is little bitty incremental changes that are going to add up. And I used to not believe that, but I started to do that myself because I had to. I was at a point where I was breaking apart, and I didn't have any of this information to try to incorporate it. And if I did, I wasn't willing to listen to it anyway. So I hope you're at a spot in your life where you are able and willing to listen. So I feel like that's a just a really good place to start. I wish I had more. Uh, I wish I had the fix 1, 2, 3, and then everything's gonna be better. But you and I both know that if this is gonna take a little bit of effort on your part, and I got your back. I love you, and I appreciate you hanging in here if you did. Um, anyway, it's gonna be okay. Just take small little steps, move yourself forward, and keep coming back. I'd like to hear your story. I'd like to hear that you just did 2 or 3 different things every single day, just to challenge yourself to just say, "Eff it, I'm going to do that." 2 or 3 different little things, and I promise you, just in a matter of time, just a little bit of time, that things will start to turn around, and you're going to click, and you're moving out of that cycle. By the way, so anyway, I love you and appreciate you guys. Hope to see you on the next one. All right, bye.